What's up, fam? What's up, brethren? Just let me tell you the name. Got another video for you. It's written title, Lockout Part 66. Here goes. So, yeah. In my last installment of Lockout, I mentioned how this cuffing season was going to be one for the books. I mentioned how desperation was going to increase, and that these bitch-made simps, and these box vendors, and these single mothers alike would try to create more food. And guess what, brothers? We're the food. For a long time, they said that they were strong, independent, stunning, and brave, and they don't need us, they don't need no man. But apparently, one government shutdown and EBT shutdown later, they've decided that they actually need help. They actually need their food. And now comes the part where all of the men and young men, the hardworking men that they ignored for most of their sorry life, are supposed to run to their rescue and give them a soft landing. Right? Wrong. It's not our job to fix what we didn't break. I'm gonna say it again. It is not our job to fix what we didn't break. Shout out to Brother E-Man67. These box vendors, these walking trash cans, these mental paraplegics who are sitting here shaming and trying to punk 2 generations of men into being stepfathers and giving up the resources, they live in a twilight zone. They live in a twilight zone. They live in a twilight zone, and so do these walking trash cans and these bullfrogs and bonnets. They live in a twilight zone. It is as Brother AC said, they've turned reality into a Dave Chappelle skit. That's what they did. They turned reality into a Dave Chappelle skit. Just straight madness. And that's why you brothers owe it to yourselves to master your life game and perfect it. You may think this lifestyle, you may think that what I'm saying may be cold-blooded, may be brutal, but it is what it is. Because these trolls, these box vendors, these walking trash cans, they drop the pretense. It's not about you. It's about your resources. It's about what you have in your wallet. That's what they're looking for. They're parasiting. And they don't give a damn how they get it. As you've seen from all these trollops on TikTok admitting that they commit food stamp fraud. They admit that they've gamed the system. You got news reports of some of them getting hit with felony child neglect. You got news stories of them getting arrested for using the money from their SNAP benefits to start their own business. It's decades upon decades of fraud, usury, and extortion. And that's why there is a lack of sympathy. No one is sympathetic to their plight anymore because they've been committing fraud. They've been gaming the system and spitting in men's faces about it. And that's why no one cares. That's why the young men have said, no, it's not my job to save them. I'm not saving them. It is the first day of November, and this year's almost done. And I gotta say, it has been a long, crazy year. It's been a long, crazy year. It's been one long, crazy year. It's one hell of a year, but it ain't over yet, brothers. It ain't over yet. The fraud will increase, the usury will increase, the extortion will increase, and you owe it to yourselves to master your life game and perfect it. You gotta do that, brothers, because master your lockout game will protect you from these snares and traps, these financial pitfalls, and from all this chicanery these trolls are going to pull during this month and the next month. Because you see that they get real ratchet around the holidays. You see that, brothers? They get even more ratchet around the holidays. Because as they said over the past couple of days, if they can't get it, they're going to take it. That was a warning. They said it themselves. If they can't get it, they're going to take it. That's right, brothers. You gotta think like a soldier out here, brothers. You gotta think like a soldier. Prior planning prevents personal problems. I'm gonna say it again. Remember the 5 P's, brothers. Prior planning prevents personal problems. These are some legendary bad days. And these box vendors, these walking trash cans, these mental paraplegics, they're not equipped to handle it. They never could. And the sad part about this whole thing is, the children that they had out of wedlock are going to suffer the most. They're going to suffer the most because these trifling broads decided to raise them like stray cats. Most of that public aid went towards them chasing a lifestyle. It didn't go towards helping the children. They were financially irresponsible, and the kids have to suffer because of that. And of course, the bitch-made simps and the cream team and these chimpanzees are trying to lay that at the feet of men. I said, no, you can't lay that at our feet. There are 12 different forms of birth control out there. None of these tribes use that. They didn't use it because they were gaming the system. They turned public aid, food stamps, welfare into a lifestyle. Hence the reason why that bullfrog in a bonnet said in that video, it's not where you live, it's how you live. Yuck, yuck, yuck. She was gaming the system. And now she's paying for it. This is real, brothers. This is real as it gets. The desperation is increasing. And you better believe the fraud, the usury, and extortion is going to increase too. In fact, some of these tribes are so trifling that they're going to go ahead and really up the ante and go back to jugging. They are that trifling to do that. They will try that. Because they have a fairy tale mindset. They believe that they're entitled to your resources and they shouldn't have to do anything. These are the antics of a thief and a liar. I'm gonna say it again. These are the antics of a thief and a liar. What's his belongs to me and none else. Do not become a victim out here, brothers. Don't get got. These trolls, these ditch pigs, these box vendors, these walking trash cans, and these mental paraplegics, they had enough time to pull their shit together and get some sense. You know what they did? They squandered it. They were having too much fun ripping us off. They were having too much fun wreaking havoc. Well, it's lockout time. Zero tolerance, zero mercy. It's lockout time. Whatever you make in your trade, keep it. If you come across young men who want the playbook, give it to them for free. I'm going to say it again. If you run across young men who want the playbook, give it to them for free. You tell them to learn a blue-collar trade or a white-collar trade, get certified, stack their green, and enjoy their life. And tell them to stay vigilant during these perilous times. Strive lawfully. Yep, strive lawfully. Don't end up like these domestic reptiles who keep getting pulled over for riding dirty. Don't end up like these box vendors and these bullfrogs who keep getting pulled over for driving with a suspended license or driving a vehicle that doesn't belong to them. Because we're not short of any of those videos here on the tube. There are countless videos of them doing that. And in those videos, you know what they do? They don't admit that they were wrong, they just agitate. They keep the chaos going on and on and on. And you know what's sad? They do the same thing to their boyfriends and their husbands. They're warped, they're sick, man. That's why you gotta lock them out. You gotta lock them out. You know what that scripture said, brothers? Do not envy sinners to the side of their company. The same applies to these box vendors, these mental paraplegics, these simps. Stay away from them. Leave them out there. This is L.O.M. Mgtow. So I got for you. Like bass here in the commentary for you to subscribe. If you're enjoying this, my channel, if I tip you on my channel. All right, fam? All right, brethren, you know drill, you know routine. Go your own way, live your own way. SYSBM. As for these walking trash cans, these box vendors, these domestic reptiles, and those who are proud we say how we say it, give them nothing. This has been Mgtow PSA. More comes tight. See you soon.